Hey y'all, it's your captain for all things creative coming at you with the Real Housewives of New Jersey season 14, episode 14 review. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you so much for rocking with us. You know, we get into a lot of things. So we'll get into this review. But first, remember to register to vote if you haven't already. And plan to go out and vote in November. Now let's get into this episode. So you see Danielle, Rachel, Marge, and Melissa head to a separate table at Rails, aka the scene of the Last Supper crimes. And Marge stood out for saying that this time they don't have to sit across from people they can't stomach. And her hair was very much giving, she did it herself with a little small ponytail in the back. And a wild kind of, I don't want to say like bouffant or something, or beehive kind of action on the top with a low, very thin ponytail. And I think Melissa, she looks more like she was going to like, a dinner party. I think Danielle looked the most dressed up like she was going to a reunion. Even though it's not exactly a fancy reunion, she put the most effort in her outfit for sure. And Fuda had on some purple thing. And she did, to me, look fuller in the face. I thought she had worked out, but she had a little surprise at the end that explained why she had looked different about the face. So on the other side, you have Jackie, Teresa, and Jen Aiden. And then when Dolores comes, she also sits with them. And Jackie says that, she considers Teresa, Jen Aiden, and Dolores her friends, and also Jen Fessler. Teresa says that Jen Fessler seemed to have a mind of her own at first, but now it seems like other people got in her head. And they were wondering where she was going to sit. And Jen Fessler chooses the table with Marge and them. But she just kind of ride the fence somewhat by coming in, acting like she's not pleased with either group, really. And she gets that table together for being negative towards her. And it was kind of funny when Fuda tried to press her about, not being all positive and kissing their butts when she walked in. And Fessler was like, what was I supposed to do? Kiss you? And then she also said that if they were going to continue to be negative to her, she was just going to go sit with the other nicer snakes. And I was like, not Fessler calling all them snakes to their face and them not disagreeing or defending themselves. But I guess Fessler could do that because she didn't lie. But then when she sits down and the temperature in the room goes down in terms of the yelling and whatnot, Fessler apologizes to Danielle for not listening to her more since now she had seen the fight footage, and she knows that Jen Aiden did push her first, and so she understands why Danielle acted the way she did, and then they all kiss and make up. Now the first big reaction of the girls watching the final Last Supper dinner was when everyone on both sides gagged at Dolores, getting angry at Marge and calling her a see you next Tuesday. Delilah explains that she does like both groups. She's friends with everybody, so she wanted to get up and leave that room she was in with Teresa and them for a minute just to go check in on Dolores because she knows the dog situation was probably rough for her. So then Dolores comes, she hugs Marge, and she says, hey, I want to see you, especially because I know that, that stuff with the dog must have been hard. And then Melissa asked Dolores why she got so mad in the scene. And then Dolores explained that she admits that she made the situation a bigger deal than it really was, but she did feel like Marge was trying to make her look like a liar and a bad friend. And then they're all like, well, why? Like, who doesn't matter. 2, trying to imply, that it's Teresa or someone she was concerned about. And Dolores cleared it up real quick and was like, listen, I don't have to answer to anybody, but for myself and my reputation, I want to make sure that, my word is bond and who I am, as a friend and a person is clear on camera, right? So then Delolo comes back with Tree, and then Delolo stands on business again by telling Teresa that what Louis said about Marge's kids suffering and wishing bad on all of them was wrong. And Teresa said that her kids suffered, so she don't want to see Delolo standing up for Marge. And Delolo stands on business again to Teresa and says that, she also has a son, and she didn't let anybody say anything about her son. And she doesn't want any child in the group getting negativity or bad wishes, so she's not backing down. And what Louis said was dead wrong. And then Teresa kind of concedes and says, all right, fine, I don't really want to talk about this with you, but I'll make sure that Louis apologizes. And Louis did issue an apology to Marge. Louis' apology reads, the finale was very tough for me to watch, and I wanted to address it with you all. After watching the finale, I was disappointed in my actions in bringing up Margaret Joseph's son. The reason he was even brought up was because I have been dealing with being falsely accused of calling Margaret's son at his work, which is simply not true. For the last year, Margaret kept putting this narrative out there that I called her son at work, and I have had to deal with it knowing I'm being lied on. Still, I know better not to bring someone's child up, and it's something I deeply regret, so I do want to apologize and acknowledge that I was wrong. There's been a lot of toxicity on the show that has affected everyone on the show. We have been dealing with a lot of frustrating things behind the scenes, and it has been very hard for our entire family and my children, who have been really impacted by all that's happened at the hands of certain people. 2 wrongs don't make it right, and I deeply regret saying what I said. So even though it seemed in the moment that Teresa was just giving lip service to Dolores, she definitely did receive what Dolores said, and she talked to Louis about it, and Louis issued a statement via social media. So shout out to Delolo for standing up for what's right, because I thought that scene was cringe too, especially because he was wearing that Transcend shirt. Descended to hell with that comment, but he's cleared it up somewhat now. But I don't know if Marge gonna accept the apology, but he put it out there. So then, when they get back to the Last Supper scene, watching, Marge looks at Teresa walking in and says that she had been wearing fake Chanel, and then they all react to the big fight between Danielle and Jen Aiden. Now, Marge and them called Jen Aiden disgusting, and Tree and Jen double down on saying that Danielle wants what they have, and then they play Melissa calling Tree white trash. And then Tree rightly clocks that Melissa's inadvertently calling her own husband Joe white trash too, since they're brothers and sisters from the same place. So she was like, yeah, that wasn't the read that she thought it was. And shout out to Teresa for, clocking the whackness of Melissa. And then Melissa repeats the burn that Tree's the aunt of the year. But Tree was minding her business, and Melissa started with her. So soon as Melissa started with the nasty white trash and all that name calling, and then Teresa answered back, Melissa, she was being very manipulative, saying that, oh, what if I tell, your niece that you called her call her mother, sorry, a whore. And it's like, you would have to tell the whole story that you called her aunt white trash first. But I bet she wouldn't do that because, again, she's very manipulative. So shout out to Tree for clocking Melissa. We see Jen Fester trying to coach Danielle to look like a better person, but it wasn't working. She was basically begging her to say, like, hey, You regret getting violent, right? Don't you think you could have done things just using your words and acted better? Like, don't you regret anything? But poor Danielle, poor little Ting Ting, she was not picking up what Jennifer was putting down. And she said she regretted not ending Jennifer Aiden. I was like, oh Lord Jesus, she's not getting the PR-ness of the reunion / last episode. Even though it's not a real reunion, this is the substitute consolation prize reunion, so she's still supposed to act like she has some sense. But after Fessler cajoles her enough, Danielle revises her stance and says that she will never let someone take her to that place again as a 39-year-old, mother of 2. So then you see Marge kind of gloating in the scene where she exposes Jackie, and poor Jackie. She was just sitting there while Teresa and Dolores and Jada was listening, just trying to explain her side, and it was pitiful to watch again. But Tree explains again, doubling down, that she's okay with what Jackie did, since she had tried to hurt Jackie first, and it was before they made nice. So she understands how the game works, but in her mind, Marge and her, had gone through much deeper, more treacherous drama than, Teresa and Jackie did in the past. And Jackie also explains that she never published the Warrior video. And Marge says she had no regrets since she felt like she did nothing wrong. Danielle said that she regrets having allowed Jen Aiden in her life and around her kids and whatnot. Jen Aiden says that she just shared something that Danielle actually did with the charity stuff, and she got hit for it, so that was not fair. Fuda says that she wished she exposed Louis more, and I just thought she needs to stop, because Louis didn't do anything to her, and this show's about the wives, and I think her and her husband be losing the plot a lot of the times. Like, you have no business fighting with Louis. Like, stick to the wives, And then Melissa, has some fake boring scene where she's rehashing how, like, it's been years she's been fighting with Teresa, but now she feels good. She feels happy in a way, because it's like, yes, because she don't have to act nice no more. She just can act like how she acted when she first came to the show and openly disliked Teresa. And Teresa, also said her piece about it's just been a lot of drama over years fighting, but, she's good moving on and not talking to people that she don't need to talk to. And then Dolores ended the episode really saying the most just succinct statement that where things are right now and where they ended is how they gonna stay, because nobody's budgeted. And then the big surprise at the end, Fuda announcing that she was pregnant. So that's why her face looked different. I thought she had work done, but you could tell she's just plumper with her pregnancy and glowing and whatnot. So congratulations to her. I don't know who all is going to be in the next reboot, but that's going to be very interesting news. Put in the comments who you think should stay, if they're going to keep 1 or 2 OGs. Or put in the comments if you think they should just scrap the whole cast and start anew. In my ideal world, I think Teresa would get her own show with her girls and Louis, so we could continue to see what goes down with them. Or I think Tree should be the OG with Dolores. That, goes with the new cast. Or they should just have an all new cast. They're probably going to announce it maybe like before the winter time. So stay tuned, and remember, no matter what you think, you are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Bye.